This is an update for the investment into uranium. Back in 2020, I put 10% of my portfolio into uranium, a direct investment into the uranium spot price, which I achieved through the company Yellowcake, listed on the London Stock Exchange, who store the actual physical commodity of uranium oxide, or otherwise known as Yellowcake. Their ticker symbol's yca.l. Now, I've already done a number of very long videos on Yellowcake PLC and about investing into the uranium spot price. There's one here that's 5 months ago and some ones before that. And in these, I go into great detail about the supply and demand dynamics for the uranium spot market, and also the situation with the anticipated future demand of uranium and the supply situation in terms of the numbers of in terms of the expected mining output. Plus, I go into all kinds of other details about this market. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go and look at these videos. But this is just simply an update because I've just sold half of my position into uranium. Before I continue, please remember that I do these videos just for fun as a hobby, and always speak to a qualified professional advisor before making any investment decision. When I last looked at uranium, I'd obviously since 2022 experienced an extremely strong run in its price, and was about between 3x and 4x my initial investment. However, we'd entered this uncomfortable parabolic phase in the price of uranium, and it was time for me to think about endgame and when do I sell and get out. Now, as I discussed before, there were several things I was sure about. The first was it was important not to go by the actual price of the Yellowcake stock, because it tends to trade at big discounts to NAV. It's actually currently at a 10% discount to NAV, but often it could be about 20. But all of that volatility in discount to NAV makes it difficult to use the actual share price to help with the technical decision of when to sell. And it's clear to me that it's best to evaluate the spot price of uranium as a better signal as it being the right time to sell. And I'd established that we'd broken out of this channel, we're in this parabolic phase, and I was really hopeful that this was going to continue much higher, and had it done, I really could have got some very significant income. Done very well. I mean, I've 3x'd as of now, so I'm not complaining, but still, it was actually hard to make a decision to sell. You've got the hanging fruits dangling in front of your eyes should this bull market continue. But one thing I was sure about was that this $75 spot price would be a good ultimate stop loss to sell everything. The main reason being it marks the previous high, and so I had this $75 as my definite backup stop loss. And I also marked out the bottom of this channel as a good trailing stop loss to employ. However, other than that, really, I'm just playing it on the fly according to technically kind of what it's doing. And what I've done is I'm using the Trading Economics website, which gives you this kind of longer term spot price for uranium. But for the latest updated everyday data, you have to go to the Numerco website, and here you see the price updated every day. You can see it here at a slightly larger scale. So I've used that to merge the two graphs to give us the best overall data. And we can clearly see here what appears like a bubble bursting. I mean, it's no different to what happened here. and you just have to accept. I mean, it's dropped 20% now, so I've given it plenty of headway, plenty of chance to start consolidating again. And you just have to accept that whatever all the experts and pundits are saying, this looks like a classic pump and dump. So I've offloaded half, and that's a 3x gain, and I can be very happy with that. I've still kept half, however, with a $75 as my ultimate stop loss, and that's for several reasons. Firstly, it does allow a bit more room to maneuver for what would then be an absolutely crazy consolidation. Secondly, $75 is a number, or maybe a couple of dollars below, but around there is a number where if I was to sell then and then it went off up to the moon, I'd psychologically still always be happy with my decision. Having fallen below this point, I know that if you were to rerun the simulation 1,000 times, I'd make that same decision every time. So setting this as the stop loss for the rest of my uranium is definitely a good number for me. Secondly, if I didn't sell half now, then the kind of losses I'd be taking is just too much for me to be able to cope with, given the effect on my overall portfolio. And I'm currently, from the beginning of the year, I'm roughly the same as I was now from the beginning of the year. And of course, I'm 3x up from the 2020. So I'm psychologically happy with the drops I've taken to now from the peak, but I can't deal psychologically with any further losses. So I've had to reduce the size of my uranium position, which I've done by half. However, now that I've only got half as much, the effect of the drops is also half as much. And actually, now that I've offloaded half my uranium, I can easily withstand a further drop in price to $75, with it having only a minimal impact on my overall portfolio. We're only talking about a couple of percent. So this means I've got the luxury now of being able to wait and see. And if I sell at $75, which I think is very likely, I'm happy with closing the book on uranium and forgetting about it actually, just moving on with my new investments, and happy that I've managed to 3x that original investment. If I sell half at 75, then my overall return will actually be 2.7x. But I'm quite happy with a return of 2.7x. I think I think that was still overall a good buy time and a good sell time, because obviously I'm not one of these experts who just knows when to perfectly sell and perfectly buy. Parting comment is I have noticed that actually the current contract price for uranium has actually recently jotted up to $85, whereas the spot price is down to $83. So possibly that could be the lifeline here. At the end of the day, you've got to start protecting yourself when you see a clear as day pattern like this occurring in the price. And I'm in the end game now anyway of this investment, because I bought my uranium back in 2020. So that completes my video. It was just an update there, and I hope you found it useful. But of course, make sure you speak to your qualified financial advisor before you do anything with your own money. And I look forward to speaking to you at the next video.
I do videos like this one just for fun as a hobby. It's for entertainment purposes only. Always consult a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decision.